Album review. Today's album is Dayseeker Sleeptalk. I'm joined today by Will.
Hello.
Aidan.
Hello.
Myself, Denver. And Joe.
Hello. This is a metal album. Not really metal album though.
It's metal enough.
There was
Like
two screamy songs. If that, it wasn't very screamy. It was all right. I enjoyed this album. I don't know why my voice has gone so squeaky, but I really enjoyed this album.
What the fuck are you doing right now?
I brought myself back down because I was going quite. It's all the vocal lessons I've been having. You see,
this album was very good.
He is teaching me to expand my range. And
more like Kettle album.
And this is why I have to experiment with different voices.
Why am I speaking like a fucking vampire now?
This is my German accent.
My name is Vlad.
I thought this album was very nice, very good.
What?
Joe, please stop. Just
more like Kettle album.
Not as good as the Monomania album. Kettle album. What?
More like Kettle album.
Kettle?
Yeah.
What's a kettle? I mean, I know what a kettle is.
So you were saying it was a metal album.
Yeah, and you said it was a kettle album.
And I was saying more like Kettle album.
Because it rhymes.
Yeah.
Well, it's impossible for it to have been better than the Monomania album. You gave that a 10.
I did give it a 10, yeah, but if it was better, then
you could give it another 10.
Another 10.
11.
Better, more like
Cat.
Kettle.
Just cat.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought it was really good. I think what it did better than the Monomania albums was the slower songs. The Monomania album definitely had a lack of them, and I feel like this is where this album glows. Was actually the slower songs. The metal ones were.
More like Kettle. Fuck.
The metal ones were more like just average. Nothing really stuck out in terms of like the big, really thrashy metal ones.
So, do you think it would have been better if they got rid of more of the metal?
Yes, because I thought the metal ones were really forgettable.
I agree.
I also feel like, bar the third song on the album, which is Burial Plot, I think the first half of the album was very forgettable. I think the ending songs was where it shone. Is shone the word to say?
Where it shined.
No, that doesn't sound
I like Sean.
I like shone.
I like Shun.
Shun.
More
I like
is where it shun.
More like
is where it kettle.
Gone.
Scone.
Bon.
Sorry, that's wrong. It's scone.
Wrong.
It's
You know the
scone.
analogy. You know the analogy, Will.
Tell the joke! Tell the joke!
Don't tell the joke.
Tell the joke!
It was good the first time.
It's
No,
a
not
scone. It's a scone.
More like Kettle, guys.
More like kettle. I told that joke yesterday as well. My families, they found it equally funny.
Oh, nice.
Fuck's sake, you can't keep reusing the same
I
joke.
can.
For fucking years
Why?
on end.
We do.
Yeah,
9/11.
More like Kettle.
Joe's a Nazi hater. Sorry.
I'm not a Nazi. Well, yeah, I am a
Will's a
Nazi.
white
Wait,
supremacist.
I messed that up big time.
I am, you're right. I do hate
Joe's a gay
Joe's
Nazi
initial
hater.
response
No,
was
wait,
like, no, I don't hate Nazis. Come on.
Sound bites with Joe.
Did you guys know that Americans call scones biscuits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Are they
until the
called
other
chips crisps?
So wait, what do they call like what we would class
Oh,
as
no, they
biscuits?
call
Are they
crisps
just cookies?
chips.
Yeah, biscuits would probably be cookies.
I thought they called crisp potato chips.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Or just chips.
Yeah.
There is those videos online where they're like they're comparing like takeaway fast food stuff. So it's like Mackey's in America versus Mackey's in UK, and like the portion sizes are fucking massive.
I mean, you need to look at the more extremes of like America and like China or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Japan. And like they're like Japan's large is like America's small.
Yeah.
for like everything. It's nuts.
We're like a weird middle ground, really.
Like our large Coke isn't as big as America's small
That's insane. Fuck.
in KFC. Like, how insane
Wait,
is
what? So our McDonald's large Coke isn't as big as KFC in America's
No,
small.
KFC is in UK.
KFC's small drink in America is bigger than Taco Bell's 7-Up.
Yeah.
Kettle.
9/11.
I mean, my kettle's bigger than America.
Fuck.
Fucking big brain.
So, Dayseeker Sleeptalk.
Yeah, I really did enjoy the album. Like I said, like the end, I definitely enjoyed the ending more than I did the start by one song. I thought the drunk starting on drunk, I was a bit like, oh, this is a bit 1975, with like the
long intro.
The long intro with the kind of robotic voice. And then it went into quite a cool chorus. I just didn't feel like the chorus grabbed me as much as Monomania did. Like, I enjoyed the album, but I feel like it's very forgettable. Like, every song is very forgettable. I think, bar my top 3, they're all pretty forgettable.
I think I preferred it to Monomania.
Yeah, I prefer it to Monomania.
I thought you guys would, because it's definitely more on the pop side.
I feel like he's got a stronger voice than Monomania's singer.
Really?
Personally. I did a lot of comparing for this because I do feel like they're very, very similar bands.
Yeah.
I feel like so the comparison was actually warranted to do it, whereas I wouldn't usually say to do that.
I think they have very similar voices.
But I go back now and when comparing this to the Monomania guy's got a bit like of a nasally voice. Like, actually, I didn't really notice until comparing it to this.
I'll tell you what, then. My evaluation of that would be, I think the singer in this is better than Monomania, but the melodies were worse, in my opinion.
Not actually far off there, to be fair.
I think that's fair enough.
Monomania probably had better backing. Maybe. I don't know.
I just don't know better songs.
I think this album had better songs, but worse songs.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would definitely agree with that.
Fuck, that's huge brain.
Yeah.
Huge brain. My least favourite was Crooked Soul.
So
it was between a few songs. I can't remember what the other one was, to be fair. It was the other metal one.
so you dislike the metal ones? Maybe we're slowly changing him, guys.
You're not.
Yeah, we are, boys.
But I don't feel like the metal ones fit that well. There was a song that reminded me of Architects big time, with the little bends.
Why did they build something?
I can't remember.
That
was a bad joke.
What do you mean?
I mean, sorry, that was a great joke.
Yeah, no, add the laughing track to every time we say kettle.
Kettle.
But add the Joe laughing track, so you got to crop
really
that.
difficult to do.
Yeah, and then also there's something flying across the screen. Oh wait, no, it's going to be podcast soon.
It's a kettle.
We're a podcast now.
We are podcast now.
Oh,
check us out on Spotify.
This is the announcement. This is the announcement. We're on Spotify as well.
That's where they're listening to it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're already here.
They're already here.
We're on YouTube.
Check out Monomania from 2 weeks ago.
Anyway, so that was his favorite song. It was just a bit metal, and the way he said "Crooked Soul," didn't like it. It deflated me sexually.
Sexually? Why were you really sexually ready to go up until so drunk got you your sex drive was off the charts, and then Crooked Soul just a downer?
I'll be straight with you. I was wanking.
I did.
But what were you wanking over? Because then you can't be straight with you if it was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
So he's obviously wanking while listening to Drunk, and then Crooked Soul comes on, and it's flaccid.
And you're like, oh god.
Could you imagine that if you went from hard to flaccid as quick as deflating a balloon?
And then
so you get the ones that are just
it does the whole wobble as well.
That's what happens to me when I think of Joe.
Or alternatively, it's like the ones, remember when you let go of them and they go...
Could you
Funny
imagine?
enough, I don't think I've ever had a fart like that.
Could you imagine if you could inhale air with your penis?
Moving on.
Fuck.
Then someone could try. They tried to strangle you, and you're like, "Doesn't work, bro. You've got to strangle the penis as well."
And then they look down, and your balls have grown. Your 2 extra lungs.
Oh, that is so awful.
Yeah, and then the guy trying to strangle you also has to grab your dick.
To
kill you.
But then you're like, there's no way of stopping me. But then he plays the song that Joe doesn't like, and it's like,
surely it's just like being an elephant, right?
in the ocean.
Strangle an elephant.
Surely you could use it as a weapon as well. So you could build up air inside.
Good point.
Or whatever inside, and then
How do you? No, sorry, I don't want your penis.
How do you strangle an elephant?
How do you strangle an elephant?
Surely you'd just grab its trunk. That's what I meant to say, and wrap it around its neck and strangle it.
Joe, this has got so awful. I don't like.
I think you just have to get a katana and just
you do forget.
Off, you know?
You do forget elephants.
I was drinking.
You forget that elephants have mouths.
They do. That's right.
Of course they do.
I don't think you could strangle an elephant.
Literally,
no, definitely couldn't. They're way too strong.
Then that's like saying, how do you strangle a giraffe? Well, you can't, because you can't fucking reach it.
No. You just that's obvious with a giraffe. You just tie it right. It's got a very distinct neck.
You try tying a rope around a neck.
For your crimes against the forest and their people, I hereby sentence you to hanging, young
elephant. I feel like elephants don't really have necks. Like, their head is kind of just joined onto the body, you know?
They do have a neck, but it's...
Yeah, but that's how I draw all my characters as well.
Yeah, but some humans are like that, aren't they?
Yeah, like Joe.
I have a neck.
You can't tell the difference between his chin and his neck.
I live for the day someone tells me I have a nice neck.
No, you have a really long neck, remember?
Right.
Remember that picture of you where...
That picture?
Yeah, we'll just put it up.
It's up there now. But they won't know, because they're listening to it on Spotify.
It'll be the thumbnail.
Oh, we'll just go off theme and we'll just put Joe's face as the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's fine. Sorry, let me carry on. Third favourite was Crash and Burn. I thought that was a nice ending to the album. Took a while to grow on me, it did, because I thought it was quite boring at the start. But yeah, it grew on me. I like it. It's got a nice little hook to it.
I thought it crashed and burned.
Second favourite was Already Numb, because it was just fucking awesome. Just really nice little acoustic-y one. I liked it. I feel like obviously at most albums have their one slow acoustic song, if not a couple. And I always feel like, oh, is it going to be boring? Is it going to be good? I felt like this one was good. I feel like bands take a risk when they do the slow ones because they're so common,
Right. Thank you, Joe.
I've not done my first favourite yet.
No, we don't need it. We always know it's the fourth song. So Sleep Talk was your favourite.
No, it wasn't.
But Joe,
Sleep Talk was not my favourite.
What?
Joe, but we all put the fourth one as a favourite.
It's always the fourth one, Joe.
Joe, we put the fourth one.
Sleep Talk.
It's already written down.
Joe, it's already written down.
Is it? But it's not.
What do you mean it's not?
Am I ruining the round? Do I need to? Is this live?
Is this live?
Is this live?
So, my first favourite is the fourth song on the album. Continue.
Ah, perfect.
Oh, great.
He doesn't even know what the fourth song is.
We always just label it as fourth song. And my first favourite was the fourth song.
We're going to get fucked when we pick an album which has a song called Fourth Song, but it isn't the fourth song.
Oh, no.
Hang on, is there a song on Spotify called Fourth Song?
There's fucking Stone Sour did song number 3, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
No. When you type in fourth song, it comes up with season 2, episode 4, The Song of Sirens.
Oh my god, there is a song called Fourth Song by Wood.
I tell you what's annoying. Yeah. Stone Sour did a song called Song Number 3, and it's song 4 on the album.
And the song Fourth Song is fifth song on the album.
That is absolutely depressing.
Anyway, my first favourite song was Burial Plot. Because I feel like it just had the raw emotion behind it. It just had, the fucking best hook. You know,
it sounds pretty good vocally in that one as well. I think.
The verses were not as good as the chorus, but I felt that the verses were the best verses in the album.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then the chorus was just big and emotional, and it was really good. A few honourable mentions before I hand over the mantle, and that would be fucking hell. That would be Sleep Talk. Mm-hmm. I thought that was actually really good.
That was your favourite?
It wasn't my favourite. It was almost on my top 3.
Joe was your favourite.
And fucking what was the other one? Color Black, I think was the other one. If that's not the metal one, really. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry, Starving to Be Empty, which
with Woman.
Yeah, because that's why it's going to be in your top 3, Denver, and it's going to be second.
That's my prediction.
That's my prediction.
I think that's a pretty fair prediction.
Quick, change your ratings.
It's done.
Sick.
Nice. So yeah, all in all, pretty good album. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Joe. I thought this album was when listening to it, it was one of these. It never felt like work to listen to it, but also once I'd finished it, I kind of didn't want to keep playing it. I was kind of done with it most of the time. You know? So in my initial notes, I kind of put forgettable. But I will say, from doing the final review of it, songs did stand out, and I will stand by what I said earlier about it had the better songs on it were better than Monomania's better songs. But there were more songs that I didn't like on this album, because a couple of times, if I just listened to my top 3, I think about this album. I'm like, this is pretty good album. But then as soon as I'd listen to some of the ones I didn't like as much, I'd be like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah, it's weird that, because sometimes I'll be listening to an album and I'll be like, this is really good, and then one shit song comes on, I'm like, oh, this album's shit. Like that, it just kind of puts a whole bad vibe on almost the whole album. Obviously, when you do your review, you don't think that way, but that's kind of how I immediately feel. Anyway.
Yeah. I also feel like they had screamo parts, but the screamo never added anything. It's almost as if they're just throwing it in there just so they can keep themselves classed as like a metalcore band.
Yeah.
And I always thought they were bad. But solid songs for the most part. I thought the production was really good in virtually all the songs. And the song, it was like not really a song, the Embers Glow. A small detail in that I didn't notice is you only hear the sound of fire really faintly. Because it's obviously the embers of a fire.
Do you? I didn't even realise that.
If you play it, you can hear really faintly, because it sounds like your headphones are breaking, because you just hear popping noises. It's really
I love the sound of the fire.
Fucking hell, I do. I was playing that on the way back from that drive, and I thought my fucking radio was breaking.
It's because at first I thought it was my headphones, and then as soon as I stopped the song, it stopped doing it. I'm like, oh no, that's in the song. So I thought that was quite a nice little detail. Despite the fact it then led on to The Colour Black, which was my least favourite song. Didn't like that song at all.
Is that the one that had the heavy thing?
Yeah, it was screamo. But it was also, as well as being screamo, just the instruments themselves were just really. It was a really simple song, and so I just didn't like the sound of it at all, because it wasn't even some metal screamo stuff. You can strip away the screamo; it's still quite a cool sound, but it wasn't even a good sound without the screamo. So it was here's a shit melody, let's add more shit.
What song was that? Sorry, Denver.
The Colour Black.
Yeah, that was a pretty forgettable song, to be fair.
So I didn't like that. I also didn't like Gates of Ivory, and that was the heavy one. But yeah, third favourite for me was Starving to Be Empty.
Hey, pretty close though, Joe. You're a smart cookie.
Nice.
Get yourself a pat on the back.
Had a nice tempo.
Kill yourself, you son of a bitch. Fuck you.
Did you change it, Denver?
I didn't change it. No, it was always my third.
Okay.
I thought it had a nice tempo. It sounded quite big. I thought with contrast, because it had the female and the guy singing, I thought they worked great together. But I didn't actually think she was that good. I kind of thought
she's really good.
I thought she just I didn't feel like her voice suited what they were doing.
She was pretty generic female singer.
Like, I felt like it got bonuses just because of the contrast in sound, and not necessarily. I didn't think she was the best, and so then I looked into her to try and find other music, and she was really powerful.
Hey, Will, don't you have strong opinions on female singers?
No.
But you do think that all female singers sound the same, though, don't you?
No, I don't.
I mean, you said that earlier, though.
Well, there is
You
a
did
lot
say that earlier.
You said
Right,
it in
what I will say,
confidence. You said,
that was a joke.
you said, don't say this in album review, Aidan. But I think that all female singers sound the same.
Apart
No.
from Dua Lipa.
That was a joke. But
Sexy.
what I'm more meaning, but what I will say is that a lot of women in this genre of music sing very similar.
We got them, boys.
They're going for
Misogyny.
that dramatic contrast, and they're always unheard of female singers.
Maybe she sang in a. She just sounded a bit like the one who sings in that A Day to Remember song.
Shut your whore mouth.
She does. She
Fuck
does.
Fuck you.
Definitely does.
Fuck you. Suck
But
my
she
ass.
was better in that song.
She was way better.
The song being, just for context for the people listening,
If it means a lot to you.
That's the one.
by
I did. By
Day to Remember.
Mayday Parade.
May.
Yeah.
Guys, can you like?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I can actually. I can click my fingers without actually clicking them.
No, there was a thing I saw on Facebook.
Mhm.
It was like replace like one word in a band's name,
Okay.
and replace it with moist.
Moist Parade.
Right.
Moist Parade. I like that. You got Bring Me the Moist.
I don't like that one. Oh my god.
You got any, Will?
Five finger moist punch.
5 Finger Moist Punch.
The word moist.
Oh no.
Oh, nice.
Attack moist.
Attack Moist.
Red Hot Moist.
Red hot moist.
Rex Orange moist.
No. Now we're going a bit weird.
Red Hot Moist Peppers.
The moist.
Moist.
Right. You're just saying it now. You're just saying the word.
Don moist.
Moist Veil Brides.
Sorry, moist broco. What the fuck? God damn! Like, come on, boys. We
All
can
time moist.
We can make
Moist-
this. We can make
Moist
this
War.
moist war.
Moist War. Wow, she moist.
Moist out boy.
Moist out boy.
Kanye Moist.
Moist Malone.
Moist Mendez. Oh my god.
Moist Mendez.
Moist Michaels.
Moist the Current. Panic at the Moist. Moist
Billy.
at the Disco.
Moist Deep.
Moist at the Disco.
Moist at the disco is pretty good.
I like Moist.
I would
at the
maybe
Disco.
prefer Against the Moist.
We are the
Moist.
moist crowd.
30
Ugh.
seconds to moist.
All right, we'll leave it there. Good though, Joe. Thank you for bringing up something good.
No, that's fine. I just saw it.
I like that.
So,
I really enjoyed that.
so second for me was Burial Plot.
Ah.
Oh my
I thought it sounded really good vocally, and one of the best, and it had the big feel, and I felt like it was quite meaningful in the lyrics as well.
Yeah.
Felt like it had good driving force behind that one, as well as sounding pretty good. And then my favourite was Already Numb.
Yeah. Nice.
It has that like acoustic, it's like breakdown, but it still feels it's like stripped back, but it's still great. And that was like, I know in previous times, or usually like slower songs, I just instantly don't like them. But I feel like this then had that contrast of like the lyrics and song like drove it through, regardless of it being slower. So despite it being like the longest song on the album and probably the slowest, I still thought it was the best song on the album, which proves that you can make a slow song good.
It's not that slow though, is it?
No, it's not that slow,
Dog tricks.
but it's like the slowest on the album, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Can't lead something to
But
water.
again, with the whole contrast thing, though, I wasn't sure. It's like, is that one my favourite? Because my least favourite was the one before it. You know, has my tolerance for what's good been like destroyed by The Colour Black? So then Already Numb seems even better.
Oh, you're saying that it's almost subjective to the fact that because the shittest one's there, anything around the shit one.
Like, the one after that could just be okay, and I would think it was like really good.
This is godsend. But then I suppose if you were like in a horrific car crash and someone gave you a chocolate bar, that's probably the nicest tasting chocolate bar you've ever had.
Yeah, better than your own blood.
Tastes like freedom.
But yeah, so overall, I thought it was good enough. I probably wouldn't listen back to it again.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It never felt like effort to listen to, like some previous albums we've had of this genre, where like I think I listened to it like 6 or 7 times maybe, and also being short helps. Like, it's only 30 minutes long, so it never felt like it was dragging on. Like, often I'll be getting ready in the morning and I just have it on. I'll just listen to it on my headphones, and the album will be done by the time I get to work.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes, even if it's say 45 or 50 minutes long, because nothing I really do in a situation where I listen to music with headphones on ever lasts that long. So that it makes it seem even worse that sometimes you have to stop listening to it. You come back to it and you're like, oh, I'm still on the same listen. You know?
No.
Oh.
I know what you mean.
No, Will would have attested to that long ago when he used to drive around a lot more. But now his journey is only 5 minutes to work. So it's like, I don't really think you have that problem as much anymore, do you, Will?
No, probably not. I will do soon, hopefully, when I'm driving a bit further.
Fingers crossed.
I just remember driving back from Suffolk and putting it on and just being like,
fuck, I'm gay now.
For just like none of the songs like really stood out unless I was intently listening to them, you know?
Yeah, you know what?
Like,
yeah.
I'd be like, oh fuck, turn that one up, and then the rest of it was like, unless you're like focusing on listening to it, it's very forgettable.
I mean, that's kind of one of my main points that I brought up in mine, to be fair.
Well, I feel like move on to yours now.
Well, I will do. Thank you. No, come on, Will. Say what you wanted to say.
I was going to say, I feel like there's been...
Anyway, Dayseeker... No.
I feel like there's been
9/11.
I love 9/11. Wait, fun.
Wait, what?
Out of context. I really hope you were recording earlier, Deborah, when Joe just goes like, oh, now I'm a nonce. That is just such a good sound clip. If we can have that. The way that he says it is so nonchalant. I was like, oh, really? It's just
and now I'm a nonce.
Oh, look at me go.
The trouble is, I know we started actually recording about 10 minutes in, so I'm probably just going to like skip over whatever I was talking before.
Just save it in a little bucket on its own, ready for one day when we can just put it in a video where it's like, oh, what do you think, Joe? Oh, great, now I'm a nonce. Oh, thanks, Joe.
Perfect.
Anyway, sorry. Dayseeker, terrible name, not terrible band. Shock horror. Let's go.
It's a terrible name?
Yeah, Dayseeker sucks. It's like the name of a sword in Skyrim.
Yeah,
Probably,
oh my God, like, literally.
It's probably one of those ones that only does like magicka damage, which means it's useless.
I quite like the name.
It's Dayseeker. It's
Windbreaker.
It's useless during nighttime.
But during the day, it makes it lighter.
If you use this blade at night, plus 0 damage to your attacks.
Maybe it's like Dayseeker, it's like only works in the day.
Short and sweet, this album, which, I mean, when your attention span is as short as mine is, that's a good thing. And not only that, I think that they have a fairly good grasp on like shifting. It's going to sound weird. I didn't know what to put because I didn't know how to explain it, but I put shifting power compositions in a song. That doesn't.
What the fuck does that mean?
It sounds amazing, though.
It does, doesn't it? Like, that should be the metal band's name. But what I'm essentially saying is that, like, it's like bringing the power forward and, like, it's like, right, power's a box. You've got it in the cupboard and you bring it out for special occasions. They are, like, the best at doing that. Everyone's drunk, they're playing Uno. Who wants the power shift? They're like, oh, fuck! You know what I mean? Like that. They do it really well.
They know when to put
They know when to bring out the power shift.
Yeah, they know when to do it.
And it wasn't until that I actually went to review the album that I realised that any of the songs are actually any good. Because prior to the review listen, none of the songs stuck out to me, and I couldn't really
completely agree.
Worst song for me was The Ember's Glow. Because of how like weirdly ethereal and like strange, and basically it just wasn't a song.
Yeah. Let's say it's just and it also actually does feed into the Color Black, because like I think the first line of Color Black is like the embers glow or something.
But I actually quite liked the chorus in those. Whereas like a close like second to worst would have been Gates of Ivory, because Jesus Christ, the start of that song is a fucking intense mess.
It is.
Like it gets better later on, but like at the start, it's just fucking just pretty bad.
Will, did you just go? It isn't. It is.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened to my mouth then, but I meant to say it is,
kettle.
And it went. It is.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. All right, don't.
So yeah, the Ember's Glow was the worst, but Gates of Ivory could have also been the worst. The third one was, I put Starving and Empty, which is not the title, so I guess I listened to the wrong album.
Starving to be Empty.
That's the one. First point, Woman. Second point, I also thought that the harmonies in the choruses were pretty, they were like a great, sorry,
Will Davey.
It isn't. No, it is. Kettle?
9/11.
So let me try that again. I thought that the harmonies are great in the choruses because I like the contrast between them. And like it's always a nice change to hear like a really clean vocalist show up in a more intense song.
Mm-hmm.
If you get me, like that's always something that I really like. It's kind of like when your chosen cereal brand puts like little chocolate chunks in it, and it's it's like now it gives me energy and it's appealing, you know? And that's what adding like a clean vocalist to a heavy song really does.
But it brings out his voice as well.
Yeah, he had a pretty good voice.
He has. Tell you what, he actually has a really good voice. But then that kind of brings me to my second favorite, Already Numb. That's right, my second favorite.
This Mr. Acoustic is not acousticing.
Right. So here's the thing. I think that his voice doesn't really suit the acoustic style. And I think it's a rare example where I don't know if I'd want to hear an acoustic version of this album. If you get it. In the chorus,
even in that,
you hear like how strong his voice can be, and it's almost restricted by how clean an acoustic guitar sounds.
Yeah, I would.
There's like moments in Already Numb's chorus where he's just like really fucking going for it. It's almost like the guitar has nothing more to give.
And it's not fully acoustic, is it? It's like got
not at all. That's what I mean. But like,
I kind of like it about that, you know, that it's got like acoustic, but it's definitely got like those nice, what do you call it, over the top? Oh fuck,
beats.
It's not like beats. It's like
beats.
I keep wanting to say harmonies, but it's not harmonies. It's like quite airy.
Kissy,
like
ethereal.
I don't know, ethereal probably. I don't know.
I think it had to have those, though, because I think Aidan's right. I think if it's fully stripped down to just acoustic, I think it would sound weird.
Because he is still shouting over it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Whenever you hear like a metal band do an acoustic version of a song, they always bring their voice down to a level which is more suited to it, and it almost always comes across much better.
Especially if they're a good singer, naturally.
Yeah, if they're a really good singer. Like, I never realised that, what's his name, Tyler Carter or whatever, the one... What's his name from
Issues?
From Issues.
Yeah.
He actually has his own Spotify where he's made his own songs and shit like that. And like they are like legit quite good. Like some of them.
That's just cool. I want to go and listen to that.
He is genuinely a really good singer.
Yeah.
He's also on Don Broco's
No one cares.
Action on his own. Which is cool.
He deserves it. He's actually genuinely like if someone came up to me and said, who's better, fucking Freddie Mercury or Brandon Urie, I would say Tyler Carter. Bye. Oh, he's back.
Isn't right because he's obviously called Tyler Carter. Didn't he do the Pop Goes Punk Paramore cover?
He did
by himself.
Which is what I knew that thing way before I knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah, I did, and Like,
me neither.
I knew it was Tyler Carter, but I didn't know that was his name.
I don't like the Denver saying shit.
No, I just started playing the song over what you were talking there.
I don't mind letting it down easy. Just give it time.
Yeah, it has like 9 million listens compared to everything else he has, which has like 200,000.
It is just so fucking good.
It is really good.
Yeah. Number 1 though, Burial Plot. Fuck, it just has incredibly catchy.
I feel like Will's gone for a complete other way here.
Yeah, what Will?
No, I have nothing against Burial Plot. It's just that you've all said it, and I'll be straight off the bat with it. It's not even in my top 3. I can't even really remember it.
Good.
I don't know why it hasn't stood out to me.
He has a catchy chorus with like a lot of power, and I think his voice is, in contrast to Already Numb, I feel like his voice is perfectly suited for Burial Plot.
Yeah.
Like it was made for him.
Yeah.
Like it is so good.
I like it. It just didn't quite make.
I just like the way. I like the way the guitars almost have this like wavy effect in the chorus, like they're like shuddering, you know. And you can hear that in his voice as well, and it just adds to the emotion. It's so fucking good. I like it.
Honorable mention with a weird twist though that I think Will might like was it was fucking, what was it called? Crash and Burn. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, I bet that'd be a really awesome song to perform because it's just one massive build.
Yeah.
And like, although I didn't really like the end of the song, everything up until that point was just like
I said, I thought it was boring at the start, and then it just grew on me. Like
it gets better and better and better. And you're just like, oh, this is really good. But yeah, overall, I was surprised with the album and genuinely actually enjoyed it.
Oh my god, is this my first metal album that you guys have enjoyed?
It was fucking good.
I wouldn't quite go as far as calling it metal, though. You know?
No.
Would you?
It had metal songs.
Yeah.
Or metalcore songs, but you know, I wouldn't call Monomania metal either. So.
Yeah, but if my mother had wheels, would she be a bike?
Would she be a bike?
That's not even the quote.
Yeah, it does. Will.
So, what I was going to say earlier, before being interrupted a few times, was the fact that I feel like this being the 3rd album in a row now, where they are very. So you know how you've said, nothing really sticks out. I feel like that's been a case for the last 3 albums, except because I feel like the last 3 albums, like the entire album has been very similar the entire way through. I feel like that's why stuff hasn't stuck out still. And it was very similar to this, because this had that, but then I feel like this, because his voice brought it out a lot more, so I do think it's better than the Monomania album, or the Word Alive album, whatever. I think it was just a better version of that album. However, I do still agree with what Denver said, in that the bad songs are worse. But I do think, like again, what Denver said, kiss your ass, is that the better songs are better than the good songs on Monomania. Just because his voice is so good. And like I say, I did find myself, while I suppose you shouldn't really compare, I did compare it a lot to that album because of it being so similar style and similar whatever. And it did make me definitely think like about him being nasally, the other guy. And it kind of brought that other album down for me a bit, seeing
but then
how...
Bring it back to Denver, who's also nasally.
Fuck. It's interesting though.
It's Denver's eyes as well. Beautiful eyes.
Beautiful.
Anyway, what are we talking about? This is Denver review, right?
This is Denver review.
I give it a 10.
Great guy.
I don't know if I would. He's a bit bossy for my liking. Maybe an 8.
I will say there's definitely some. Again, like you've pretty much all said, the last listen changed it a bit for you, and it was the same for me because it was a very, very easy to listen to in the background. But when you do that, because it again all similar style, except for maybe a couple, you don't really remember it that much until you listen to it solely on its own, which I think everyone kind of needed to do for the album to really stand out. But maybe that's a testament to us having very similar albums recently. Worst for me was The Colour Black. Again,
I knew it.
That sentence in itself sounds bad, doesn't it? This for me was the colour black.
Not a big fan personally.
But no, I think the actual screamo never really added to any of the songs. It didn't need it.
Yeah.
Like his voice was good enough on its own. It didn't need that contrast of screamo as well to add to it. His voice was good enough on its own, which is a testament to him. Because I feel like a lot of metal albums do need a bit of screamo in them to bring out their main singer. Whereas this was better without it.
Almost like you're bringing the screamo to then make the normal vocalist sound better.
Exactly.
No,
You're like, look,
exactly.
This is what you could be.
No, disagree.
Whereas you have.
I like a disgusting breakdown with just some good old
Disgusting breakdown, but with great vocals at the end of it, not just.
No. Well, yeah, I guess so, but like.
Because the trouble is, a lot of metal fans throw in shit screamo guys.
Just to make the lead singer better. Like the screamo guys are good by themselves.
I mean, that's the only reason screamo exists, right?
No, no.
Yeah, but no one chooses to listen to someone trying to blend like an entire child.
I like it. Gasoline by I Prevail is like a perfect example of why screamo is good by itself.
I mean, it isn't good by itself.
Wasn't that all your least favourite in the I Prevail album?
Can't remember the album.
I Prevail.
I mean, there was a few really bad songs on it. I'll be honest.
There was not.
Because I feel like a lot
I
of.
Prevail had one good song, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I had like two, I think. There was the one with the woman, and then the one where he was singing on his own.
Every Time You Leave. That is a really good song. Oh yeah, we all put Gasoline as our least favorite.
Yeah, that probably was just a fucking mess, wasn't it? And Joe was like, I'm different. I picked this awful piece of shit as my favourite.
Actually, though, at the time, as metal things went, like back then, it did pretty well.
Yeah, because it had like two good songs on it, which means that we already...
It wasn't a very screamy album as it was.
That's probably why it got a higher rating than...
I mean, it scored 20.5.
See, that's pretty good for a metal album.
It was pick 18, so it's not available on Spotify.
It just feels bad, man. Like, you Spotify listeners, go fuck yourselves. What are you doing? What, does your mummy pay for your Spotify or something? I get mine paid for by Will.
Yeah.
And
Shall I carry on?
I stole Joe's vodka.
Should I carry on? I was gonna say that I feel like a lot of metal bands do add screamo to, like I say, bring out the singer. But I feel like a lot of metal bands bring in shit screamo guys because it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah,
okay?
they all sound the same. It's fine.
But all of them, not all of them do though. I can tell the difference between a good one and a bad one. Hence, a day to remember. Great fucking screamo artist.
Can we have the same discussion again?
Isn't as good as some of the stuff I listen to.
What the fuck are you saying, Joe?
I'll say that was a mess.
What the fuck happened there?
It's like Joe was having a whole separate conversation. I thought somebody was talking in the background. I didn't realise Joe and Aidan were both trying to say something at the exact same time.
I was trying to make a joke. Fuck you!
Do it again! Stop talking!
Me!
Oh my life!
Fuck. Oh fucking hell! I don't care. Can we just move on? Fuck.
Yeah, I'll just go to my top three. Fuck's sake.
Everyone knows metal music shit. That's it. End of.
It's not. The third, Starving to Be Empty. The lady in it. What is her name? Because we haven't even said her name, have we?
Female.
Not featured.
I hate it when they don't feature people, but I guess it's.
I did see it earlier, but I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Her name's Lady McWoman.
I feel like it's respectful.
It's
to
like
say what her name is.
Sensia Petit.
Okay, Sensia Petit. She definitely added to this song, and it reminded me very much of Every Time You Leave. Much like Aidan said, in the fact of having like a cleaner voice over something that's like being, I don't know how you said it, or being shouted or whatever. More harsh. It just, the contrast works so well, and they both just, it added so much to the song. I thought it was like a great way to get to, because like after Gates of Ivory, I thought, because that was like close to being my second worst. I think it brought the album back up. It could have probably ended with that though, to be honest, because Crash and Burn wasn't that much to me.
I thought it was
no, I really liked the build up, but it was just entirely ruined by the end. Like it just.
Oh,
So what you're saying is it had a disappointing drop.
Pretty much. But because the actual build up was really nice, and like Aidan said, would be sick live. But
I said I think
the
it would be great to perform. I want to be the one singing it.
oh yeah, I'd like
Me
to.
time. Me.
Yeah, but
time.
you already exist. Remember, we saw like we'll link that guy. His name, who basically Aidan.
Oh, I wasn't really looking. I seem to remember I was doing something.
He is Tom
Hiddleston.
I look like
Teddy.
Tom.
Teddy Swims. That's
So
it.
that is basically Aidan with tattoos.
If I died and came back, I'd probably want to be called Teddy, because then if someone was angry at me, they call me Theodore, and that's.
I was nearly called Teddy.
Because you look like a teddy bear.
Exactly.
If a teddy bear was made of twigs.
It's a really discount one. There's not much stuff in it.
This is a horrible teddy
It's
bear.
basically just a teddy, but with all the stuffing taken out.
It's malnourished. Teddy, are you okay? Kill me!
I'm actually Forky from
Oh,
Toy Story.
Oh, Forky's so cute though.
You kind of are. What the fuck? That's weird.
oh, that's kind of gay, bro.
Yeah. Mm.
No, Joe saying that Forky's cute and Denver saying that he's Forky. I'm like, that's kind of gay, bro.
Yeah.
Joe does find me cute though.
Oh, that's all right then. Well, there's no homo then. That's all good.
No homo.
Fuck's sake. Second.
When you're
Oh
fucking
my
one of
God.
the boys.
I'm never going to get through my fucking review.
Well, I would eat the shit out of your ass. No homo.
I would eat yours too, bro.
He didn't say no homo.
I would say no homo.
All homo.
Don't need it.
Bro! So,
What's
no
the
homo.
opposite of no?
Yes.
Yes. What do you mean to say?
Looks like-
What is the opposite to no?
I was thinking, would you go? No,
And the rate of charges are tomorrow.
I would fuck you. Yes, homo.
No, you just say more homo.
More.
It's like, I fuck you, more homo.
I like yes homo more.
Yes, homo. It's like you can't speak English
Yeah.
properly. Like, structure your sentences right.
Have you ever seen the thing of like the woman getting an inbox from an Indian man? This is no like. It could be someone from any country that doesn't speak English, but he just says hello, and she goes hi, and he goes, "Why are you?" That's the best response.
No, that's Joe speaking to any customer ever.
Oh, hi there. Why are you?
Or just nice day, even when it's like a shit rainy day.
He
That's
says,
what we're having.
Weather's
well,
nice.
no, they say that. They walk in and go, nice weather, and Joe goes, no thanks, love, I'm off to Mackie.
Oh god, what a throwback.
Kettle.
9/11.
Did I even say what my second favourite was?
No.
Do we even care at this point?
No, like you've interrupted me so many times now.
We're having a great time here at Consistently Trash.
Second.
It could be too by subscribing. Hit the bell icon.
Oh,
Follow
it on
the Spotify every Wednesday.
Follow the Spotify every Wednesday.
every Wednesday.
Yes,
You have
homo.
to follow it again.
Yes, homo.
Yes, homo.
Second,
Johnny, yes, homo. Oh, that's a reference. Holy shit.
I don't get that reference.
What? He was eating sugar, bro. Open your
What?
mouth. Well, you don't know the Johnny thing.
Oh.
So it was like a children's thing. It's like Johnny, he's like, yes, papa. And he's like eating sugar. He's like,
No, Papa.
no, papa. And he's like telling lies. And he's like,
No, Papa.
and he's just like, open your mouth. And he's just like, ha ha ha. But because he's got sugar in his mouth. That was the
Lies.
fact that I've had to like
I
explain.
have
It
no idea what you're on
was
about.
like a massive meme. It was
Yeah, it was.
But you didn't know the meme It is what it is.
That's not a meme if it's on TikTok. That's different. That's like subculture of meme. That's like autism memes.
That's why I like them.
Go on, Will.
Thank you. Second was Already Numb.
Telling lies.
Pretty much all the reasons you said. I feel like I just need to stomp through this now. Already Numb, great acoustic in the background, great change up in pace, and just really great. Proper shows how great his voice is. But like Aidan probably said again, the way, I don't know if it would work being super breakdown with just him and a guitar.
Now he's licking my ass.
I'm licking your ass.
Yes, homo.
But number one
Sleep Talk.
was Sleep Talk, yeah.
Ah, fourth favourite.
I loved it.
Sleep Talk, fuck off.
I loved it. I loved the chorus, especially. I think the main part, a bit like with Monomania, having that specific melody that just stuck with me the entire time. There's a bit in the chorus when they harmonise, the backing singers, and it just sounds amazing. And it brought it out for me loads. Because I feel like Burial Plot was good, but then I feel like Sleep Talk was just a better version of it. So it kind of, I feel like you gang up on me for that. Because,
well, we're not going to gang up on you, but you are statistically right now. You're wrong.
I'm not, because it's got more listens on air.
I mean, that's because it's the name of the album, though. Isn't
it's not.
You're just mainstream.
And also, it doesn't have more listens. I'm looking at it.
It does.
But Sleep Talk was a single, but so was Burial Plot. So
there we go. Just like that. In fact, it's got double the amount of listens.
Double the amount of listens. Fucking hell. How can double the amount of people be wrong?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
I mean, it's great. It's got a great chorus. Again, shows his voice great. That song pretty much symbolises this entire album for me. I think that's what brought it kind of all together. It's great.
Well, I was going to say mediocre and forgettable.
No,
I did list it as one of my potential top threes, though, so it must have been better than average.
I think you're definitely right in saying that I will almost forget all of these songs ever existed.
I don't think I will.
When we talk about that, I feel like we've spoken about this album really well, to the point where I'm now thinking, like, were these songs actually really good? Do I save these songs? You know, like, as in, like, to my own playlist?
I've added a couple of these songs onto my main playlist, so.
I had it already known, but that's it so far. But everyone said Burial Plot's really good. So I'm like, how good was that? I can't remember.
I've added my top three in Sleep Talk to my top. And
I'll say, so that was my top three, and then I should probably repeat them because we've been interrupted that many times. I'll go.
Got them down.
Yeah, but the people might not have. So
Spotify people. Check the description, Spotify people.
People don't care what you think, Will.
All right, fairs. That's a good point. Honourable mentions: Burial Point, Drunk. I thought was a great start.
Where was that on the album?
Burial Plot,
right next to Starving and
be a fucking smart ass. Was Burial Plot. Drunk was a great start to the album.
Yeah, I like Drunk.
Embers Glow, I thought was like a nice little intermission. Really nice.
No.
And then like they were the ones that stood out the most. And then other than that, that's all. I felt like they all kind of dropped in pace. But these were so good that they brought out the entire album for me. And a great voice and decent album. Slightly better than Monomania.
Oh.
But mainly because of the voice. Ratings.
7.
6.5.
7.
6.
Well, it's very close net ratings there.
Scores 26.5.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good album then.
Pretty good.
I feel like it deserved more than a 6, Will.
No, because I said it was slightly better than Monomania.
ASI a better rating than this.
Yes, because I prefer.
Really, I also think this was better than Monomania, but in hindsight, I feel like I gave Monomania too high. So I gave Monomania the same.
Well, I gave them 5.5. Like literally, like I say, I think this was slightly better. But I wouldn't say I'd rate it more than a 6, Joe, because I feel like there's too many like songs that weren't really anything.
Well, you've only got 10 songs anyway, and one of them's an intermission. At that point, you've got 9 songs.
Well, that's why I'd almost say that it helped it, because whereas I think I preferred Monomania for the songs overall in general because they were more memorable, but the fact that this album was shorter actually made it easier for me to listen to, which is why it got basically the same rating.
If it was too long, I feel like it would have been too samey. Like, way more.
Unless they start throwing out like 1975 Robo Speak in the middle, there's no way in hell that I would have listened for that long.
Yeah.
So it's my pick, right?
Yeah.
Your pick?
So I'm going to pick Biffy Clyro, A Celebration of Endings.
Wow. Oh my god.
Green cut.
Now it's so loud it peaked and it just went. Holy shit. Yeah.
And they are the greatest band of all time,
I mean,
in my opinion.
I can't believe it.
Don't let that shape your opinion that I like them so much. But
Well, it shaped it so hard that you've cut off the statue of David's penis and replaced it with the head of a dog.
Head of a dog.
Head of a dog. Dog.
I have something to say to you, honey. I can't make love tonight. My penis is a dog. Joe, any closing thoughts?
Follow us on Spotify.